Good evening, everybody. Yes, it's Adam. It's me. I'm hosting the show tonight. Welcome to the United Stand and another special. I hope you've all had a lovely, jubbly weekend. You get that one? You might not, but never mind. It's just a joke. Carry on. Anyway, guys, we've got a it's a transfer special. Let me just run through it really first for you. This up on your screen there right now. It's quite self-explanatory. So we're looking at a big list of players. It's up to you guys to actually build Ten Hag's team tonight. And guess what? No, Adam cannot overrule you tonight. It's down to you. But there are rules involved in this one. So we're either getting the player or we're not getting the player. We're going to go through a whole list. We've got quite a lot. As you know, on transfer season, United actually get linked with every player under the sun. We broke down the most realistic. We're going to put them in. As you can see there, Frenkie de Jong is the first one. So let me quickly just go through the rules before we get going. First of all, you can only have 2 players from each club. So you can't, say, have 3 Ajax players, for instance, or anything like that. 1 player per position, unless there is a loophole in this. 1 player per position, except if that player is on a free transfer. There is a maximum of 6 signings you can make. And if we go over budget, then we will get a red warning sign. And we will have to rejig everything around. And we're going to have to make sure we stay under budget with everything as we go along. What was the budget again? So let me get that back up now. 200 million. The prices are reasonable on all of these players. We've got 200 million to spend. We can't go over budget. If we do, then we have to chop and change players. We have got, yes, transfer market value, papers, speculation, and what's going around, looking at players' contracts, where they are in their contracts, realistic sort of prices for the players that have already been touted and put out there within the media and everything like that. You already know. We've talked about them all. We've talked about them all in these shows. So let's get into it. As you know, right up there first is Frenkie de Jong. He will set back Manchester United 70 million quid. Now, Frenkie, is he a player for you? The vote is now open, as you can see on your screen. So get voting. Is it no deal? Is it deal? Which way are you going with this one? And remember, there are other players mixed in with this. We've got a big list, so make your votes count. Obviously, the biggest transfer sort of speculation this summer has been Frenkie de Jong. If it was me, obviously it's not tonight, so you're all happy about that, I know, then I would slot him in there and work around it. But remember, you've got to get 6 players into this new Ten Hag team. So, 70 mil. Oh, you could bring less than 6 if you want. It's a maximum of 6, but look at the positions that we need. Try and think about it. The majority votes win this every single time, everyone. So, get voting. Is Frenkie a deal or no deal? Let me know. Over 2,000 votes in on Frenkie de Jong already. I know where I'm going, but where are you going, everyone? What are you telling me? Let's see what the result comes back with. 92% of you have voted yes. Frenkie de Jong comes in for 70 million. There goes well over a quarter of the budget in one go. Well done, everyone. 8% said no deal. That's a start. That's a confident start, that one. But Frenkie de Jong, well, he goes straight into the team. So, next up on the list, everybody. Let's see what next player. Let's work this one out. I'm going to bring in a forward in Nkunku. He's rated at 65 million, going off, like I said, transfer speculation through papers, mainstream media, what's been put out there. Nkunku for United, guys, is he the player for you? Would you bring him in and go right in on this budget? I'm testing your early doors here because 65 million, 70 million, there's a lot right there, isn't there? 135 million spent already. And we're only 2 players into the list. Are there better deals out there? What's your confidence with Nkunku? His goal stats this season and his assists have been obviously off the scale, and why he's been touted. And, well, he's going to be leaving, isn't he? He's going to be going somewhere. But is he good enough for you to come into United? Where will he play? Is it a deal you would just let slide? Because we've got Donny, got Bruno, that sort of just off the front forward player. Where are you going with this one? Are there better options there for you? Are you going to wait to see if there's a free transfer to come in? Save some money. Don't forget, players each club in all of this, 1 player per position. What are you saying about Nkunku? Is he coming in as a striker for you, as one of our forwards? There are other forwards on this list. I'm not going to tell you them until they come up on your screen. So are you going to bide your time? You're going to wait and see what comes up? We can chop and change at the end, don't forget, and bring Nkunku back. What's the vote? 59%, no deal. Adam can't overrule, remember? So if you like Nkunku, it's tough. He's not having it. He's not coming to Manchester United. I mean, I'd probably go with that, to be honest. I think Nkunku, I just feel like too much of the budget is gone already there. That's what I would look at it, especially for this game anyway. But, I mean, some people will be disappointed, some won't. And like we said, you could always come back later. All right, so let's move in. I'm going to delve into the free market right now. I'm going to bring up another forward. On a free, obviously, it still has got qualities. Dybala, Juventus. What are we saying? This was a deal that was very close for United in the past. Has that ship sailed for you? There's a few ships that have sailed, to be honest, in terms of United transfer speculation that I can't be asked with at all. I won't even entertain him. But Dybala, does he have a quality that you could bring into Manchester United? Do you like what he is on a free transfer? Is he enough for what we need? Will he work with the players that we've already got at the club? What role will he play? Whose place will he take? Have we got better options already? Is it too difficult to turn down a free transfer for a player of this quality? But we've had this before with certain players coming on a big wage, not performed. Is he in that category for you? Because there's a reason why he didn't come last time. He's not one of them players, I would say, on my radar would be who I would go straight out for, or doesn't jump up onto the screen for me. But you guys may disagree. What are you saying? Free transfers are hard to turn down. Juventus are the masters of the free transfer themselves. It's about time we took one back, is it not? But nah. For me, I'm leaving him, but this isn't my show tonight. 73% have said, nah, forget it, your time is up. Dybala is not coming to Manchester United. He is staying at Juventus. The United stand faithful. I've spoken on this one. Okay, moving into defence. I'm going to bring up the next defender. Let's see, which way am I going? Jurriën Timber. Let's keep this simple. Don't forget, one player per position. They can be chopped and changed at the end. Jurriën Timber is our next one, priced at 35 million. For me, it's a snap. I would just say that is the easiest deal, and I've said it on many shows already. It is the easiest deal to make for Manchester United with his connection with Ten Hag. Obviously, Edwin van der Sar over there has helped us out before with the Donny situation when we bought Donny van der Beek. What we saying? Centre back Jurriën Timber is one player we need. 43 appearances this season. Tackles per game just under 2. Closes per game 1.6. Do you like this player? We're not factoring in wages, no, because we know we can afford it because we just freed up 50 million in the 5 players that we've just released from the football club. So don't worry about wages. But thanks for that super chat. Thank you very much. The vote is in. Jurriën Timber, what are we saying? Is he going to be a Manchester United player for the United fans? Are we happy with that one? I think I just heard the wrong alarm actually there. So there's still a few seconds left on Timber if you want to vote. It's over now. Sorry, I was right. Timber's vote is in. 95% say Jurriën Timber is going to be wearing the United shirt next season. Fans have spoken. Timber moves in to the deal section and we clock up 105 million from the first 4 possible players to come in. Right. This is a tester for you now. This is where the game sort of gets interesting in terms of how the rules are working. I'm just going to quickly throw in another centre-back in Martinez from HAG'S again. And it's going to be a case of which one would you prefer? He's cheaper. Do you like the way he plays better? Some people have said they'd rather have Martinez over Timber. What are you saying, people? Are you saying Martinez, or are you going to stick with Timber, who I think, like I said, I think it's the easier one to get. I think there's more pluses with this. I don't know though. It's up to you guys. Is Martinez a better player for you? If it comes in, then we will have to jig it around and Timber will have to come out. We'll free up another 10 million. Does that make the deal happen for you? 10 million cheaper brings us back down again to 95 million if you make this swap deal happen, because you have to go in the no deal section if Martinez comes in, because you can. Oh no, sorry, you can have two players from the same club, but you can't have two players in the same position. That's why. Sorry, I got myself mixed up with the rules there. So Martinez or Timber, this is your first real tester point in this game. Is it going to be one? Is it going to be Timber? Are you going to save yourself 10 million to put on maybe a midfielder and be crafty with it, playing a bit of Championship Manager, bit of FIFA mode? Which way are you going? Is Martinez the one for you, or are you going in, sticking with Timber and saying, look, I think he's got the better potential. I think he's more suited to the Premier League. He's quicker. Is that Timber at 91% for no Martinez, no deal? I think that is what I'm reading. Timber stays, 91% say. Martinez goes in the no deal column. Job done. Well, we'll see. Moving across to fullback situation. Okay. Max Aarons from Norwich City. Now, for me, this deal should have been made a long time ago if it was worth doing. And let's be honest, I think Max Aarons hasn't really pulled up many trees. I think his form has dipped. I think he's on a decline for me. 20 million at right back. Does he offer you more than what an Aaron Wan-Bissaka would? That is the question right now. I'm just going to bring up a super chat there from Tripping 8. I like the Jong, but he didn't want to come to United. Did he not, though? Was it more of a Champions League thing, which you would naturally expect from a player of that quality at Barcelona? I thought we were trying to get rid of players who didn't want to come here. I understand that. I totally get what you're saying there with that super chat, but we don't know the ins and outs. We don't know if the Jong has actually come in and said, look, I don't like United. I don't want to come. It's more of a Champions League thing. And any player of any decent quality like de Jong would actually, he'd have reservations about coming to a Manchester United with us not being in the Champions League. If United were in the Champions League, he would come to United, but we're having to do more of a sell this season, and this is on Ten Hag, and this is probably where he's putting his neck on the line by saying, you know what, I'll get us back into the Champions League, and you'll be playing Champions League next season. Max Aarons, where are you going? Is he good enough? No deal for Max Aarons. No. Another one that's sailed by. Not interested at all. So we're still at 105 million. We've been through the first 6 players on our list. I'm going for, actually, I'm going to go into midfield again. Here's another one. Oh, this is turning into the new Wesley Sneijder, Nikola Gaitan sort of territory, this now. Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. I think his agent puts him available or offers to United pretty much every single transfer window. And we never seem to have been anywhere near signing him. He's just one of them players that he's out there. Do you think he's got the quality to actually turn United's head or Ten Hag's head and say he's good enough to come in for our midfield? Milinkovic-Savic, 47 games, good injury record. That's good for us. 12 assists, pass accuracy at 78.8%. Strong. What do you think that suited the Premier League? He's robust. I mean, I like the 47 games. I do. I like the durability factor. Is the Italian league a slower pace league than the Premier League? No disrespect, obviously, but you got to look at these things. It's going to be a shock to the system. A player coming in from the Italian league who's been there for such a long spell now, coming straight into the Premier League. I gather most players can actually adapt and get there, but again, this is the guy that's been linked with United for now that I can remember at least the last 3 transfer windows, and we've been nowhere near. Is he worth 65 million? Which, like I said, these are not our prices. These are what are put up out there. And at that price, you guys have said a resounding no to Milinkovic-Savic. Being very, very clever with your transfer budgets. I'm going to stay in midfield now, though. Cheap Premier League experience. Is the age an issue? We've talked about this before on the shows. N'Golo Kante. Is he worth stabbing at that? I mean, United, we need that sort of midfielder in here if we're going to play that style. Let's be honest, is Ten Hag going to be looking for that type of midfielder with the way he plays? At 25 million at his age, with his current injury record, that's where I would sort of be looking right now as a bit of a concern. Is it worth N'Golo Kante at 25 million? Or are there better options out there? That is a deal there. You have centre midfield sorted. You'd have one centre back in, two centre midfielders. Well, you won't have two centre midfielders because the rule of the game actually, I forgot myself again there, is Kante comes in for Frenkie de Jong, does he not? Is that all right? Sorry. Right. So we're going centre midfield and a CDM. So Kante can come in. With that signing, would take you up to 130 million, and the whole spine of this football team would be sorted. Is that enough to sway you to bring in Kante in with his experience? Kante alongside De Jong, with Timber behind them and Varane. Ooh, it's not bad, but where are your concerns with Kante? Is he worth? 57% of you are bringing N'Golo Kante in to Manchester United's midfield. I didn't expect that. I'm just going off experience of doing the shows and some of the comments that have come in, but Kante to Manchester United is a deal that you guys would go for. Okay, into the realms of free transfers again. We know we need a winger. I mean, it's hit and miss at the moment. Can Sancho move to the left? If you brought in a Dembele from Barcelona on a free transfer, this is one that has concerned me many a times. People have called him breadstick legs, injured all the time. I've seen plenty of comments. These are your comments, guys, from previous shows. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. But right winger, predominantly, another forward player who's played at a decent level at Barcelona. He's free. You would have 4 signings in there now for 130 million. Is that good enough if you brought Dembele in? Do you rate him, first of all? And is he good enough? I think the quality's there, personally, but he's always been a concern for me. That injury record has always scared me. What's happening behind the scenes, we don't know. He's got that sort of reputation about him as well, as I wouldn't say an actual problem, but playing more games now as he turned the corner and on a free transfer, can you turn down that quality? Because someone else will buy him. Is it going to be Man United, though? Do we need that type of player coming in? We've already said no to the likes of Dybala on a free. Is a free transfer on a Dembele worth it for you guys? Like I said, that would be 130 million. And a forward, the whole midfield sorted, and the centre-back sorted. But you don't want him. 70% have said, see you later, Dembele. It ain't happening. Well, I'm happy about that one. Do you know what? I'm going to stay with right winger now. I actually do believe that this player in Rafinha from Leeds isn't worth 60 million. That's the price tag that's been floated around out there. Again, they're not our price tags. 60 million is too much for me personally, but it's your game, it's your show. Which way you guys going? I think he'll end up at Barcelona. Maybe if we get De Jong, that's how I see it going down. I think Barcelona are very interested in him. Would we get a player from Leeds? Would Leeds do a deal with us? Is it worth just knocking it completely on the head and stop wasting our time? 60 million? That's a lot. He is a good player. We'll give him that. But 60 million it's an awful lot of money for a Leeds player. And yeah, probably saying that with red tinted glasses on, I'm going to be honest. But there's a lot more, and that would pretty much take us just up to budget unless we bought free transfers. Is Rafinha worth it at 60 million? That is the numbers that are being put out there within the transfer realms and media right now. That sends a shiver down my spine. I don't know about you guys. Don't let me convince you. Is it too much money? That takes us to 190. That would give us a player in every position that we sort of need, apart from right back, in my opinion. But again, there goes your budget pretty much. You're looking at free transfers past that. So the vote is in, over 3,000 voting on Rafinha, where we going? What is it saying? Is Rafinha going to be? He's not going to be. Thank you, everyone. I am full agreement. 70% said no deal to Rafinha. We'll take that. We will take that. Moving on to, I'm going to go back in to another CDM option. Now, obviously, this is going to kick Conte out of the team, but send the budget up. 50 million for Ruben Neves from Leeds. It's a player that I like. I've said on many a chance. I've said on many a chance shows before that this player has always kicked our ass every time I've seen play. Neves from Wolves, he's definitely going. He's going somewhere. Is he worth 50 million? No. Is he worth taking that to 155 in terms of total spend and kicking Conte out of our CDM position? Who would you rather have? Because you cannot, remember, if you're just tuning in now, have two players from the same position. Neves and Conte in the same position. We've already got that CDM in place. So would you bring in Neves over Conte, spend the extra 25 million? Or would only leave you with 45 to spend? Or would you keep Conte in there? That's what we're asking. Ruben Neves from Wolves. Is he worth 50 million, first of all? Again, steep, or is it worth it? Still young, Premier League experience. I think he definitely needs to do the move now. He's been at Wolves way too long, in my opinion. Has got qualities. I think he's faded towards the end of his Wolves career, to be honest. I actually do think it's because he just feels like in himself probably that he needs to move on now. He's spent way too much time there. I think he should have been snapped up earlier, or is that a reason for you not to bring him in? Why has no one brought him before? Is he stuck at Wolves because that's his level? Does that concern you? Conte or Neves? That's the one right now. Neves will be going straight into the no deal column if you say no. Otherwise, it'll be Conte going in if you want to do that swap. It's going to be a tight one, this. What are we saying for Neves, everyone? Oh, guys, 53% want Neves. N'Golo Kante has been kicked out of United's CDM position. The budget has gone down to 45 million because your spend has gone up to 155 with that transfer. Conte is out, Neves is in. Interesting. Is that the longevity of that deal? That is actually, well, is that why you're going with it? You thinking you've got a bit more time with Neves? Is lasting longer? I'm going to move across to the other side of the defence now. Malacia. This player, cheap. Left back, position we've not, well, you could say Shaw, you could say Telles, you could say Fernandez from the under 23s. He's going to get a chance. Is left back priority for you right now? That's the first question I'm going to pose. Is he right to come into Manchester United? Do we need cover at left back? Cheap at 20 million. But guys, is he the right move for us? Can we spend 20 million, I would say, elsewhere with them players that I've just said then? Fernandez, you got that coming through. Player of the year in the under 23s. Telles, yeah, I can see why you'd be concerned if he was there. Is 20 million enough to spend on a player that isn't going to get first team action? Because I do believe that if he comes in, I don't think he's going to get ahead. I don't think he will get ahead of Luke Shaw. Unless, I mean, that's up for debate. A lot of people have argued that Luke Shaw has been poor this season as well. Left back, 49 appearances. Well, that's one thing. He's got better than Luke Shaw already, a full season. Is that enough to sway you, though? Or would you be wanting to give more time to like Enzo Fernandez? Because there is a quality player in there, and I think would be more than enough to battle with Luke Shaw. And like I said, does 20 million get spent elsewhere better? That's what you got to look at. In all of this, you got to say, balance the budget and prioritise the position probably more than anything. What have we got? 58% of you have voted. No deal. He's going straight in to, well, with a big bunch of no deals, to be honest. Being very specific. Okay. A budget buster is coming in next. 85 million. Osenhen from Napoli. 85 million. Oh my giddy aunt. That is... for me, well, Honestly, I would say no, but it's you guys. Do you rate him? Is he the type of striker that Manchester United need? We haven't got a striker yet. Don't forget, this will take us insanely over budget, and we'd have to do a bit of chopping and changing. And who would you sacrifice from what's already there? You've pretty much solidified United's midfield and centre-back positions already there. As every United fan knows, key areas that we need to improve on. Or would you go more top-heavy, striker? I mean, it's a lot of million, 85. That's the dearest player on that list, I think, if I'm right in thinking. Oh, no, there is one more. You'll know who I mean when we bring him up. But it's right up there, top ends, breaking Manchester United's transfer sort of record. So for me, I would say, well, I think it's too much for him. I think he's well overpriced. But you know what agents are like, and that's what number is being put out there at the moment. Is that enough for you to say, nah, see you later, mate? Way too much money. We're not wasting our time with that one. What are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? It's got to be better options. 92% are with me. Well done, Reds. No deal. See you later. So then goes in to the no deal section. We'll take that one. Okay, let's find you a free transfer. See if we can mix this up a little bit. Okay, where are we going next? Okay, here's a swerve ball for you. A big swerve ball. And I can already see the comment section frothing at the mouth, getting ready for this one. 5-time Champions League winner, Gareth Bale, on a on a free transfer. Wow. Would you even go there for Gareth Bale? He's free. That big price tag that United have just been put off by for many a years. I still remember what Gareth Bale has said and how many times he's turned United down. Honestly, I'm not going there for Gareth Bale personally, even on a free transfer. I just think it's a player that's past his best, and I wouldn't even go there. But it's your choice. Is Gareth Bale worth a punt at a free transfer? We've seen what he does for Wales. Wales now, obviously, who have qualified for the World Cup. Congratulations to them earlier on today. Gareth Bale is a main man for them. When he puts that Welsh shirt on, he's a different animal. And this guy scored 10 Premier League goals when he came in last season. It's not bad for a player that's supposedly past it from that wing position. But another year on, is that too much for you? I mean, Bale is that United no-go for me, because again, there's another player that's I think he's said no to United a few times, so I wouldn't be bringing Gareth Bale in. But on a free transfer, does that tempt you? That's the ultimate one. That's what these free transfers are in for. There would be your right wing forwards again. I'm not spending any more money. Budget stays at 155. You've got 4 players in. No deal for Bale, though. You guys have voted. Bale goes in with several other players. I'm liking your style right now. I am. All right. I did say there was a coupon buster coming up. It is in midfield. I've got to bring it in because it would send us just over budget. It would be replacing Ruben Neves with the CDM of Declan Rice. And remember, guys, we can't have 2 players in the same position. So if you wanted to bring Rice in for 100 million, it would take us over budget by 5 million and replace Neves. Is it worth 100 million of your budget to bring Declan Rice in? As good as he is and as well as he has performed, would you? That's the question. 50 appearances, 4 assists, 92% pass accuracy. He has got a lot of draw. He is the uber professional, really, isn't it? But let's see, 100 million. Yeah, we're sort of putting that at 100 million because that's realistic. West Ham have actually put out there that they want 150 for Declan Rice. So, yeah, I think 100 million is more of a realistic sort of tag. They've offered, what was it? Was it a 7 or 8 year contract of him on 200 grand a week? West Ham threw at him. I think it was in them realms, wasn't it? They want him. I mean, if they got in the Champions League, I think this deal wouldn't have even been on the table. But is he willing to move? Is he willing to move to a club that's not even in the Champions League now? Are there better takers for him? I mean, I don't think he's on United's radar personally. I don't think United are on his radar now with us not being in the Champions League. I think the 81% is why he's gone into the no deal section. I think simply because of that price tag. I think that's what's destroyed that one. Okay, back in at striker again. Now, this is a player we've talked about numerous times on the shows. 80 million. Another big one which will destroy our budget and have to change things around in Darwin Núñez. Is he worth 80 million? God, that's a lot, that. I remember talking about this on the show. It was, what was it? 65 million. Then it was 20 million bonuses. A player added on to that as well. Dear God, that's bad. Sean, Affinity with a super chat. Cheers for that one, mate. Depends how fast are the board willing to rebuild. If we only signed the Jong and Timber, then I'd go for Rice. Interesting. Cheers for that super chat, mate. Thanks, Sean. Depends how much money they're willing to spend. And have we released enough? I mean, wages-wise, I don't think Manchester United have got an issue at all this summer in whoever they bring in. Because, like we said on previous shows, 50 million we just released in wages. And then 5, what was it? Mata, Matic, Pogba, Lingard, and Cavani. Around 50 million a year in wages. Negotiating wages is not going to be an issue for United. It's that price track and that structure. Darwin Núñez, though, it's a lot of money. Again, the strikers are at a premium in this show. We've already got rid of one for 85 million. In Osimhen, are we getting rid of Núñez as well, or do you like Núñez? Oh, it was a close one. It was very close. 53% of you have said no deal. Oh, Núñez goes by the buy. Throw Pereira in for Núñez. Says Swallow in the super chat. Cheers for that, mate. Yeah, but we can't do that on this show. This is straightforward as it comes. So I'm just going to run through the forwards we've turned down so far in terms of the big ones. In Nkunku, Darwin Núñez. I mean, there's a lot there, isn't there? So I'm going to bring in another right winger right now as another option as a forward in Asensio. In his last year of his deal at Real Madrid, touted and put out there around about the £25 million mark. I would take our budget up to 180. Is Asensio worth? Is Asensio worth that push at 25 million? Very interesting, that one. It's sort of for me, that's like a swerve ball. I wasn't thinking about this one until I realised that he was in his last year of his contract, and the option then came open to you, didn't it? It's like, actually, is that a player? Obviously, won at the highest level, played at the highest level with the best. Is he a player that will take on the challenge of Manchester United? Let's not forget, this guy's guaranteed Champions League football week in, week out where he is right now. He's not got that at United. So would you try and persuade a player at 25 million to come play in the Europa League for a season with no guarantee of getting in the Champions League? Would your money go on that type of player? You need sort of dead certs, and that's where I think your mindset needs to be with this, because dead certs would be players you know are actually going to come to the football club, I think. And I think in that column you've got there, with what Ten Hag can do with Timber and De Jong, and then Neves obviously being at a lower level, I think they are realistic. Revoke Darwin, please. On Steam reported him being available at 60 million. Nah, that was the initial bid, mate, I'm afraid, though. There was more on top of that. Back to Asensio, though. That's another no deal. Another one chalked off. I'm trying to get you a forward, everyone. Now, interesting next selection in Antony from Ajax. This would, in the rules of our game right now, fill up the can only have 2 players from one club section, because that would be 2 from Ajax. 55 million. Oh, I know we can have him. Yes, they would fill up our 2 options. So we couldn't have any more players from Ajax. Even if it came to shaking it around at the end, if we needed to fit it in, because Anthony's going to take us over budget. But is he worth that? And do you want to chop and change anyone else? Or are you happy with the 3 players that are already in at United? that we've actually got on the screen right now. 33 appearances, 12 goals, 10 assists. Anthony coming in would be 2 players from Ajax with him and Timber. So we couldn't bring anyone else in. So you wanted to bring Martinez in later as a make weight. That would possibly be a way around it. But we haven't brought a forward in yet. And this is proving the difficult bit because the forwards are all, like I said, at a premium. The price is astronomical for every single forward that we brought up or we're being linked with. But 55 million for Anthony, more of a right-sided forward. What are you saying? Is he worth that? Has he got enough? Definite starter for Brazil every single time now. So he's there. He's up there. He's got potential. Is 55 million the right time to buy him? No, that's what you've got to ask yourself. And are you willing to go 10 million over budget with this one coming in? Oh, the first time in the show. The deal is happening. You want Anthony in your team. We are 10 million over budget. So what this means is we need to do some jigging around. But what I will do is go through the rest of the players first. That might actually do this for you automatically. You may actually replace one of the players we've already got. But Anthony slots in. Our budget goes over by 10 million, up to 210. But we've got a player for 4 positions now. So we've got the midfield solidified. We've got a centre-back. And we've got a right-sided forward in Anthony. Does that push Sancho over to the left? Are you happy with that? 210 million. You're spending big. But next up, centre midfield. We haven't got a centre midfield. Oh, we have, sorry. God, forgetting about Jong. We have got a centre midfielder in Jong. But do we want another one? Because next on our list is a free transfer in Christian Eriksen. We could be doubling up. Now, obviously, we could only pick one player per position, but the loophole in this game was that if it was a free transfer, you could double up. Christian Eriksen, is that too good of a chance to turn down? That would take United's player input to 5 players in. Would that be enough for you for one window? A free transfer for Eriksen. 4 assists already in his short time at Brentford. Has still got it. Pass accuracy is good at just over 80%. We know what he can do. Is he ideal for putting them balls in for Ronaldo? If Ten Hag is going to keep a strict sort of positional style going on where Ronaldo can't roam and has to do that graveyard shift, would you like Eriksen putting them balls into him? Because you know he can put them on a sixpence and you know he can make it work. Is Eriksen a one for you? It wouldn't take us any further over budget because he's a free. It would put us in with 1 CDM and 2 central midfielders, an area that United fans and everyone knows we are very short on. A free transfer for Eriksen seems like too good a deal to turn down to me. But what do you guys think? Is it worth it? Are you bringing him in? Are we going to see that bit more clinicalness, that bit more class in that area of the pitch? Is that enough? 86% say yes. We have our 5th signing of the summer transfer window. Ten Hag's going to be happy. Obviously, we're only allowed to spend 200 million, so we've still got jigging to do. But I'm going to go through some more players now. See what comes more. Oh, yeah. Okay. He's on the list, but in the position that we're in right now, Harry Kane at 120 million. It's going to make this game very difficult, and we have got a forward in Anthony. Yes, right wing, not a striker, but have we got enough in that striker position? And Harry Kane would take us to 330 million, 130 million over budget, and that would need a hell of a chop and change around. Let that sink in. 120 million. I brought him up because he is on the list. There are other options out there. I'm quickly just going to go on to super chats before you guys. Neves out, Kante in, and Cuckoo in. Neves not worth 50 million in the super chat. Cheers for that one, guys. You got to start thinking now. You got to start thinking outside the box because 210 million. I'm talking about this like Kane's not going to be a deal. By the way, if you guys put Kane in right now, you are going to make this insanely complicated. But it's your game, your decision. No complications about it. 92% of you have voted and said, nope, it's not happening. Not happening. So I'm going to throw another striker right at you, right out the bag. In David, the young Canadian striker who is pulling up trees big time and attracting a lot of attention. Is that the type of swerve ball that would convince you? And don't forget, we can change it around. We are going to have to do a bit of chopping and changing. We can only buy 6 players. That's our maximum for this game. 6 players. We've got every single position covered down the middle and the right winger. But we have got 2 central midfielders. Now, the only one I can see moving around to make a bit of space would be Jong, but he is, as we know, the priority transfer target. 5 players in. Does David actually come into this equation? Is he an option for us? 40 million seems lack of experience at the top level would be what would, but there are a lot of noises going around this player, and could be that one that we get first for a change instead of paying stupid amounts of money after he's proven he is quality. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? Is it happening? Is it not? Are you just going to save your money and go elsewhere? Let me know. No deal, 62%. David goes into the column with some outstanding talent, I must admit, but sensibly, we've voted with our financial heads on this one tonight. We're still only 10 million over budget. We've got room. Another centre midfielder, which could change things up. Centre midfielder options at the moment are Eriksen and De Jong, or would you go in with Lerma? Now, it would have to be De Jong out and Lerma in. Eriksen is okay because he's a free, but you can only have 1 central midfielder. The only way you could get 2 players in the same position, like I said at the start of the show, and just for anyone who's just tuning in, is if you bring in a free transfer in that position. So you would be bringing out De Jong, freeing up a lot of the budget, bringing us back under, but you're going to be losing one of the best players, one of the best midfielders out there, really. Is Lerma good enough to replace De Jong is the question, and free up that money and bring you right back on the budget? Interesting. Are you going to go for it, though? Is he as good? That's the question. Oh, there's some deals that can be had here in another position if you guys did go for this one. Would be interesting, because the next one I'm going to throw at you could come in on a cheap deal in a position I do think we really need. No deal. He stays as it is. Rory C with the super chat. Kamara would have solved the DM issues for free. 100% agree, mate. He would have. But this is United. We're slow, especially when it comes to the transfer market. All right, we can have 6 players. There is a position that we haven't brought up yet, and that is right back. Michele from RB Leipzig, 10 million last year of his deal. I've talked about this on a previous show. We sold Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It'll be a deal to make for Manchester United, but our game is a bit different. If you add him in as your 6th player, that would be fine, but it would take us to 220 million. Lerma for Neves, we can't do that, mate, on the super chats, because we can when everything is done and dusted, when we've been through everyone. We can't do it just we're not going to do it just yet, but thanks for the super chat. There is an option there. If you did want to lose a CDM and bring in the centre midfielder, we still have to do chopping and changing with the likes of, again, you've got De Jong has to go again, doesn't he? So, but Michele for right back at 10 million as a snip, in my eyes, takes us 20 million over budget, and we have to do some jigging later on in the show, but Michele comes in. We have maxed out. We now cannot bring in any other players unless you want to swap what is there in the 6 that we've got, which we have to do anyway, because you have to get back under the 200 million. So who is left? Let me flick through what we have got left. There isn't many options, to be honest. All we've got left, the only player that we haven't talked about is Pau Torres. We're going to bring him up because we're going to go through every player, but that is our whole list of transfer targets. Pau Torres would literally take us, because we're going to have to replace Yuri and Timber, because it's one position, one player per position. So Timber would come out. We'd go up to 230 million spent. Again, do you prefer Pau Torres over Timber or vice versa? Stick as you are, and then we have to look at what we've got. What are you saying? Been through the whole list with Pau Torres now as the last player. 47 games, good injury record again. I know that should be what I'm bringing up, but our injury record is atrocious at centre-back, especially this season. I think they've all been out for a prolonged period of time. So, Pau Torres as the last player on our transfer list to bring in. If you say no, that leaves us with £20 million over budget, and we have to make room somehow. We have to make room. Who would come out? What's happening with Pau Torres first of all, though? Where are we going? In, out, in, out. I think Timber would take it for me, to be honest. Don't think. It's a resounding no for Torres. He goes in the out column. Timber is our centre-back. Okay. All right, guys. That is it for players that we have been, or possible players for Manchester United. So, we have to do some moving and shaking. Ericsson is a free, and I think just stays there. He's the only free transfer that we've actually brought in that were the ones that were available. So Ericsson on a free, he stays there. I think Mukele at 10 million at right back, the position we need. Would you get that? Yep. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring in all four of them players who we think we could possibly change. And then we're going to do a vote. We're going to do a vote on who comes out of that 6-player list there. Obviously, Ericsson is not in this because he's a free and he won't make any difference to the budget. So we've actually got 5 players there who are worth value. Would you change any of them players? In Mukele, yeah, Mukele. I think we'll keep Mukele in for the sake of it being 10 million. So I'm going to bring in Anthony at 55 million. We're going to bring in Ruben Neves at 50 million. Timber at 35 and Jong at 70. Guys, you have to now vote. Which one of these players do you want taken out to free up money to replace him with someone else to bring us back under the 200 million budget? This is where you have to be savvy. Are you going to replace Neves? Are you going to replace Anthony? And the players out there, there are players in our list that you can replace Anthony with. There are players you can replace Neves with. Likewise, De Jong. Timber is an awkward one because he's reasonably cheap. I would say it would be between De Jong, Neves and Anthony, in my opinion. Just going off, trying to make this work under 200 million anyway. What are you guys saying? Which one? Neves is the winner. Okay. Neves is out of this team. 50 million up, which takes our budget back down, if I'm thinking right, to 170 million. So, if Neves is out, we need a CDM. CDMs on our list would include, like we've already said, N'Golo Kanté. We've got Declan Rice. Who else have we got in our CDM role? I think that, near enough, pretty much sums it up. Going through the list, we only had 3 CDMs on our list. One of them was Neves. Neves is out, taking the budget to 180 million. Leaves us with only one option, which is what we replace Neves with. Am I right in thinking that Kanté and Rice are the only options? It can't be Rice because he goes over budget. Obviously, there is a compromise needed in the transfer window. And guys, Well, if we replace him with Rice, we're going way over budget again, and we have to do more. Yeah, this is where you're going to make it incredibly difficult. But are you going to keep it simple and take your spend to, what would that be? 195 million if you brought Conte in. And you would then have 6 new players in Manchester United this summer. Rice would take us over budget and make this game carry on till God knows what time. Get very, very complicated. Super chats. I was going to bring that super chat up there. Typical United skimping out on CDM, a position we've had to cover for at least 10 years. We don't need Antony. Oh. I mean, Lima can play CDM. Should we change it up and offer Lima as a CDM option? That's what we got to look at. And Lima would, in terms of price, 35 million would still send us over budget by 5. And we would still have to play the game on and try and think of another way around it. Yeah, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to just bring in an option of Lima, Conte and Rice now as your CDMs, because Lima was down on our game as a central midfielder. We can't have 2 players in the same position. Those were the rules of the game, but we know he can play that. We just want to give you guys a bit of an option. Are you going to stay under budget? Are you going to go way over budget with Rice and make the game incredibly complicated? Or are you going to go 5 mil over budget and then rethink another player in our team and the 6 signings that we've made? The vote is yours, guys. Don't forget, I can't overrule you on anything tonight. So what are you saying? Where are you going? Don't even go there. What are we doing? All right, the game continues. Lima comes in for Neves. Now that takes us to 205 million, 5 mil over budget. So what I'm going to say is on this now, if that is the case, then we keep Michele, we keep Ericsson, we'll keep Lima because he's just been brought in. So your 3 players to now swap would be Antony, Timber and Frenkie de Jong. Which one of them, that is your next vote. One of them players has to come out to make room. So 205 million. We went over because we brought Lima in as a CDM instead. Antony at 55 million. Timber at 35 million. Frenkie de Jong at 70 million. That is the new vote coming up on your screen now. Who is getting it for you? Who is getting it? The vote is open. Which way are we going? Don't make this complicated, please. The obvious one is clear to me, which the obvious one is. But 3 players of extreme quality right there, which you are going to be losing one off to bring in a make weight. And this was your decision, everybody. Six players max. 3 are definites. In Michele, Ericsson and Lima. Antony, de Jong or Timber have to go. Who is going? Vote, 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 vote. Which one are you going for? There are options there to replace. Which one is it going to be? Antony's coming out, 55 million. That puts us back at 150. Wow. Now we've got options again. You guys voted. Antony has gone. No longer in United's team. Now your forwards, we're looking at right-sided forwards right now. The obvious one would be Asensio for 25 million, which way under budget. I'm trying to think now. Do the powers that be allow one of the centre forwards on our list to come into this category? You've got a free transfer in Dembele as well, and you've got you've got Rafinha, which would take us over budget again. Now, there's not many more options past that, so be careful with how you pick. It looks like we've got Rafinha, we've got Dembele, and we've got Asensio as options to replace. Or you could bring in a striker, which would be David, because we've not got a striker already, you can bring a striker in. So that would be an option. Or another position if you wanted, but we've pretty much covered all positions there that we really need. The only position we haven't got is a forward. So we'll stick this for the sake of the show coming to a close shortly. And Nkunku, Dembele, Rafinha, Asensio. Which way are we going? Dembele will be free and literally keep us well on the budget. The budget right now is at 150 because we've got rid of Anthony. So which way are you going to go? Is it going to be, oh God, looking at it, I'm just going to say, yeah, there is an obvious one for budget reasons, a very obvious one for the same reasons, but would feel like we've not really spent enough. And then two that take us way over budget and would pretty much make things very complicated because that would leave Frenkie Jong and Timber to be replaced. So are you going to think with your heads? Yeah, so Jonathan David is now going to replace Rafinha, everybody, at 40 million. I think we have to be fair on this one. I think we're going to go over budget again and go out of time. The original one was actually Dembele. Wow. So I guess with Dembele winning that vote, should we actually go David or Dembele? Because they would both be under budget. Do one quick last vote for Jonathan David or Dembele. And Asensio, yeah, because that would be all under budget. We're just going to do a quick revote on that one. Let's see. Right. David, Dembele, or Asensio. The last vote of the night, guys. This is going to take you under budget, but make 6 players coming into Manchester United. Which way are you going to go? Which way? Potential of David, Asensio, the experience, Dembele, the worry. But he's free. And the United board would love you right now if you went for Dembele, because that would bring us in at 150 million because he's a free transfer. And that would be typical Manchester United. So really what we're saying is the United fans tonight have got an opportunity here to actually be like Manchester United and skimp around the edges. That's what it's looking like right now. Or are you going to go David and take us right pretty much up to budget? You guys have voted. The money isn't yours. You want to spend United's money. David gets the vote at 40 million and United spend comes in at 190. Under budget. Everyone is happy. A player for all positions. So we've got a right back. We've got a central mid. We've got 2 central midfielders in CDM in Lema. Central midfielder in De Jong. Centre back at Timber. We've also got a centre midfielder in Ericsson. And then another centre forward in Jonathan David. 190 million spent. Some big talent thrown away or not even acknowledged by you lot. But that is Manchester United's team. That's voted for as United Stand subscribers. They're your 6 signings for this summer. Would you be happy with that? We'll put them 6 signings up. You can see right now. And obviously, guys, get your comments in on the video once the video goes up on YouTube as well. But that pretty much rounds up the show. there is your 190 million. Frenkie de Jong, Jurriën Timber, Christian Eriksen, Nordi Mukele, Conrad Lema, and Jonathan David. That is your new Manchester United new United players for this summer for Erik ten Hag. Would he be happy with them? I think there's a fair balance to that there. For 190 million, I think that's more than on the budget. I actually think they're not actually too bad. But obviously, guys, get your votes in on the United Stand here when this video goes up on YouTube. I think we're going to put them out on socials as well. So let us know what you think on them there as well. But guys, that does end the show. Cheers for watching, everybody. Mark will be back this week. He's coming back from his jollies. So stay calm, everyone. He is still going to be here doing a live show this week. So don't worry. He will be back this week along with everything else that we've got planned. The Jubilee weekend is over. Everyone's back to work tomorrow. Hope you're looking forward to it. Hope you enjoyed the show. Something a bit different this weekend. It's been a pleasure. Like, share, and subscribe to the United Stand as always, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. What's left of the weekend. Have a good